What's going on, friends? Me, Rick is Talent, back with a new video here with the last class on this website. I mean, hey, there's been a lot of great classes, and after I went through pretty much all of them, like, I don't even know what I want to play. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I want to do a Druid. They sound so good. Do I want to do a Dire Lord? Oh, man, it sounds so cool. Do I want to do a Wizard? Man, they could be so cool. Oh, no, never mind. The Summoner. I want to try the Summoner. Oh, wait, what about the Ranger? It's like, oh my god, stop doing this to me. But then again, you know, we'll see. But, man, guys, I'm so excited for this, and let's see. We're going through the Wizard today, and as you can see here, a picture of the Wizard of the Asian Elf. If you play a Wizard, you can pick between the Archetype, the Dark Mirror, the Elves, the Humans, and the Gnomes. I think the Gnomes are going to be a really favorite race here for like many casters, because that's kind of what they are, right? And so, you know, I don't know what I would play if I would play a Wizard, because I think I'm going to actually try to play a Wizard. I would maybe try a Gnome, but then I already want to have. I also want to have some Humans in my characters, you know, character screens. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I will never do an Asian elf, I feel like, because I'm always feeling like an elf should always be this kind of forest type of guy. I don't like think about a lot of magic when I think about a elf. So, but then again, it's cool to have an elf there. But man, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Really hard. They all seem really cool. So we'll see. While many wizards are driven mad through study of the arcane, those who emerge stable under the weight of this power wield a force barely imaginable in awe and effect. There are none that exist who have so obsessively studied the enigmatic and destructive nature of the arcane. While many wizards are driven mad with this knowledge, often destroying themselves through lack of control, those who emerge stable under the weight of such power wield a force barely imaginable in awe and effect. It's a damage roll if you play a wizard. That is very right. We all kind of assumed that. Combat resource is not only mana, it's also focus. So mana and focus, very cool. Available armor, cloth, and arcane shields. The same as a summoner, right? It's very typical clothy, very cool. And available weapons: the dagger, the sword, the club, the stave, the quarterstaff, and the longstaff. Very, very cool and very common as well. But now let's take a look at the featured abilities of this class. So keep in mind, those are not all abilities of the wizard. There's a lot of stuff that still can change, and there's going to be a lot more abilities. But let's go through those ones that we see here, and the devs kind of wanted to show us. Featured abilities: Cold Focus. Each cold spell you use in succession will increase your charges of cold focus by 1, up to a maximum of 5. With each charge, your cold spells will gain a bonus to damage, spell haste, and critical chance. Additionally, the mana cost of your cold spells will increase with each charge. Casting a spell from a different school will cause you to lose all charges of cold focus. Okay, so we have the cold focus here. So I'm not sure, are you using frost spells then, or? But okay, let's keep on reading. This is the cold focus. Very nice. Glint. Release a burst of searing ice at an enemy, dealing cold damage and putting them into a chilled state. Very cool. So probably also slowing them down, probably, right? A burst of searing ice. Very cool. I hope they can do some cool animation here with this. Very, very interesting. Frozen Fortress. Detonate ice. Encase yourself in solid ice, putting you in a frozen state and protecting you from incoming damage and detrimental effects. This shield will last until the effect wears off or enough damage is absorbed to break through. While Frozen Fortress is active, you may use the Detonate Ice ability, dealing cold damage to nearby enemies and putting them into a frozen state. Very, very cool. So pretty much like a lot like the ice block that we know from WoW, protects you, right? But you can also use Detonate Ice while you're in there, I assume. Dealing cold damage to nearby enemies and putting them into a frozen state. Very nice, very nice. Inferno Lance. Charge up your mana into a dense inferno before releasing it to an enemy, dealing fire damage and putting them enemy into a burning state. The longer you charge Inferno Lance before releasing, the more damage it will deal on impact. Very cool. There is more like a fiery spell right now, so it looks like you have like you know, frost spells and fire spells going on here. Very interesting. Maybe let's see if we have some arcane stuff as well. Very cool. Flash. Disappear in a flash of mysterious energy and instantly reappear several meters ahead of your current location. So this is a typical blink that we also know from WoW. Very cool. So you can put your enemies into a frozen state and then use Flash, and you make sure you gain a little bit of a gap between you and the enemy if you want to maybe disappear or maybe relocate for another, you know, spell. Very cool. Sight of Sage. A spell that clouds your natural vision, but allows you to see invisible beings within the mist. Very interesting. Oh my god. So I assume there's going to be a lot of invisible enemies out in the world as well. Because as we know, Pantheon is not a very PvP-focused game. Thank god it isn't. I played PvP for 10 years and wow, I'm just saying that's not what I want this game to be. If PvP happens, that is cool, but the game should never revolve around that and never balance around PvP. Very cool. So I guess your vision gets a bit clouded, but you can see invisible beings in the mist. Very, very nice. Now we have the fire focus. Remember, we had the cold focus over here. Fire focus. Each fire spell you use in succession will increase your charges of fire focus by 1, up to a maximum of 5. With each charge, your fire spells will gain a bonus to damage, spell haste, and critical chance. Additionally, the mana cost of your fire spells will increase with each charge. Casting a spell from a different school will cause you to lose all charges of fire focus. So you gotta balance those different elements kind of out, right? You have to be kind of careful because you cannot just go. You cannot have cold focus on and then do like a fire ability, because then you will lose all the cold stuff that was on the target, which makes sense, but that's super cool. So very, very interesting here. And we also have the arcane focus coming in. Each use of Prism Volley in succession will increase your charges of arcane focus by 1, up to a maximum of 5. With each charge, your Prism Volley spell will return an increasing amount of mana to you when it lands. Additionally, the mana cost of Prism Volley will decrease with each charge. Casting a spell from a different school will cause you to lose all charge of arcane focus. Okay, very nice. So we have the arcane focus, the fire focus, and the cold focus. Veyrule's Icy Blade. Launch a blade of icy mana at an enemy, dealing increasing cold damage to all enemies in its path on the way to the target. The more enemies this ability damages on the way, the greater its chance to critically hit will be on final impact. Very nice, okay. Veyrule's Icy Blade. Very cool spell name as well. Nice. Evoke Fire. Release a sudden blast of fiery mana at an enemy, dealing fire damage. This ability will critically hit if the enemy is in a burning state. Very nice. So you gotta make sure you have the fire focus on as well. Oh, this is cool. Like, you kind of have to, like, you know, always work with those different elements, like with frost, fire, or arcane. That can be super interesting. That sounds really cool. Prism Volley. I assume this is the arcane one. Weave your mana into a prismatic volley, striking your enemy with magic damage and returning greater amounts of mana to you with each use. So I would assume once you get some low mana from using maybe your fire focus or cold focus, then you go over to maybe your arcane focus, and then you use prism volley to get that mana back, and then maybe get back into a different focus again. Super cool. I like this a lot. Summon Fire Familiar. Manifest a Fire Familiar. While present, it will allow you to retain your fire focus charges while casting other schools of magic. Oh, wow. Okay, so if you have that Fire Familiar out, manifest a Fire Familiar while present, it will allow you to retain your fire focus charges while casting other schools of magic. Okay, nice. So if you have your pet out, then this doesn't apply. That the spells don't lose all the charges of the specific focus that you used. Very cool. Not sure how long that cooldown is, or maybe you can't use it all the time, or what's going on, but very cool. Order of the Gatewalkers. Wizards are able to join the Order of the Gatewalkers, consisting of magic users who have mastered the ability to travel through the arcane gateways that exist on Terminus. This prestigious order of wizards has maintained a steady watch over these gateways for ages. Worthy wizards to join this order are expected to do the same. Very cool. So I assume those are gateways that are already placed in the world. So it's not like the mage, the wizard can go anywhere, but he can go to those different gateways. But it's cool how they framed it here. I said wizards are able to join the Order of the Gatewalkers. So I assume you have to do some stuff to get in there. Maybe a lot of quests or do something for a certain faction. Very, very cool. And this is something I'm looking forward to a lot in Pantheon as well, that, you know, you cannot just do all that stuff because you're just this class and you learn it on your trainer real quick, you know? A lot of times, maybe it's something more that you have to do in order to get this. But man, super cool. The Wizard is definitely one of those classes I'm looking forward to as well. Really cool how you have to balance between those arcane, fire, and cold stuff. Very, very nice. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Wizard. And, yeah, very cool class. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one, and, bye-bye. Peace.